Hi guys, so I'm making this video because something that has been going on for some time now. It's uh, it's it's getting really out of hand, and of course I'm talking about the latest rush that people have of taking offense and uh, lodging police complaints against makers of this web series on Amazon Prime. So I think people are I think people have a right to get offended, but I think we as Indians, we have a very hard time understanding where our boundaries should be regarding freedom of speech. As in that, I don't think we really understand what freedom of speech really means. Freedom of speech means that I have a right to offend. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you something that many of you may not know, which is um, we have this sort of like a law, which is IPC section 295A, Indian Penal Code section 295A, which states some. I'm not quoting the exact law. I'm just saying what it means, which is that if you, if anyone, by words, writing, any other kind of any other medium of communication hurt anyone else's sentiment, if you hurt anyone else's religious sentiment, then you can go to jail for that if that person lodges a police complaint and or pay a fine. So this law is kind of like a blasphemy law. So you don't have the right to I mean, you can offend someone, but then you have to face the consequences. Now, if we truly are a democracy as we call ourselves, then this law has no place in India. Let me be absolutely clear about this. Now, here's the juicy part. You may say that, look, there are certain boundaries. You cannot insult someone's religion or something like that. Well, it may be in poor taste. If I hurt someone's religious sentiments, it may be in poor taste. And does anyone have the right to get offended by it? Yes, 100%. But should I go to jail for that? For cracking a joke or making a web series? Should I be beheaded when I insult or if I ridicule someone's religious figure or something like that? Absolutely not. People need to understand the difference between saying something offensive and calling for violence. If I say something offensive, that does not mean that I'm calling for violence. And that definitely doesn't mean that, I mean, look, again, you have the right to take offense, but please understand that I have my right to offend you. And if you have a right to and if you're offended, then go ahead, fine, say something that will offend me, or better yet, don't listen to my don't watch a video that I make, or don't want to listen to my jokes and everything. You are at complete liberty to do that, but to take away my right to say what I want, that's not done. you know I mean, I'm browsing through the internet. I see a lot of people really cheering this move, that these people who have made uh, this web series, they're really facing the music right now, because they are apologizing and all those things. And people whose sentiment have been hurt, they're really happy about it. They're saying, all right, fine, well, go, we stick it to the those bad guys or something. Well, I'm here to tell you that, time isn't same for everyone. People who sympathize with your ideology, maybe they're in power now, but a day may arise when people who oppose your ideology will be in power, and then they're going to mete out the same kind of uh, behave the same kind of treatment that they have received. What are you going to do then? Please understand that vendetta politics Vendetta politics appeal to the most basics, most basic instinct of our persona. It doesn't help anyone. Please do not support this. Even if your sentiments have been hurt, do not support jailing of comedians or banning movies or something like that, or calls for beheading when your uh, religious figures are somehow insulted. Do not do any of it. Because look, if you if you put people through trouble, if you try to make their life miserable because you're powerful and you have the power to do that, then I can assure you that when they are in power, they're going to do the same to you, and you're not going to like it. And moreover, the biggest reason why I am against this kind of behavior is because people need to understand how you lose your civil liberties. In a country like India, you will never have a Tiananmen Square where your civil liberties will be taken away just like that in one day. It will erode inch by inch. If you support illiberal policies, if you support illiberal people, if you cheer on while some person is languishing in jail because for a for a stupid joke or something, or maybe even a joke he did not even say and he was about to say, as people are saying, people, the news reports are circulating that the person who is in jail right now, the comedian, he did not even say the joke. Someone thought that he was going to say the joke. So if you think that this is fine, then be prepared. And this is not a threat or any kind. I'm just forecasting what's going to happen, because when you when you stand by and watch someone else's civil liberty get eroded, and you are standing by as a mute spectator and enjoying it because you don't agree with the person or you don't like the person, please understand that with his civil liberty being eroded, so is yours. The people who are coming after them, one day they will come after you. That's going to happen because people who are not liberal, people who are not in any way tolerant of someone else's opinion, they don't stop. They don't stop just making a few enemies. They don't stop at their enemies. They do it constantly. They're going to tell you what you can eat, what you can drink, where you can sleep, who you can sleep with, where you can go, where you're not allowed to go. People who do not like freedom, they love to put all kinds of restrictions, because people who do not like freedom, they view power as something this magical. They just wield it whenever they want. They have no respect. People who have no respect for someone else's civil liberties, they will not respect yours no matter how much you agree with them. That is why I'm saying that please do not support this. We we have to be better. We call ourselves a democracy. Democracy is not just limited to having an election every 5 years and then we pat ourselves on the back that we did a great job. That's just not democracy. It's more than that. It's more than that. I mean, you watch what's happening. the, the, no offense to the honorable judges of the Supreme Court, but you saw what happened. The Supreme Court of India interfered with matters which are clearly in the domain of the legislative. And here, people who support the farmers' protest, they are very happy. They are very happy. They don't see that the structures that are in place for governance, that is being hampered. No matter what you do, no matter how many bridges we build, no matter how many uh, startups we startups we come up with, no matter what we do, no matter how rich we get, if our institutions are not maintained, if their sanctity is not maintained, then it's all for nothing. We will crumble. That is why I'm saying to anyone who is listening to this video, please raise your voice against IPC section 295A. This law needs to go. It may be some comedian you hate today. It'll be you. It'll be you next time, because anyone can get offended. There's always going to be someone who is going to be offended by no matter what you say. And if that guy goes to the police and files a complaint against you, then you're going to jail. Don't support this. This is madness. For the sake of your own good, if not for not anyone else, for the sake of your own good, do not support this. Please raise a voice against IPC section 295A. This law needs to go. That's what you need to know. Please Google it. Google about the law. See how it was implemented. It wasn't right from the beginning. Something happened in the 1950s, and that's why this law was introduced. And it was wrong then, it is wrong now. Do not support this. This law needs to go. Please remember these words. IPC section 295A is a draconian law. This law needs to go. Otherwise, we are never free. We will never have freedom of speech. Again, do you have the right to be offended? Yes. Nobody is saying that you don't have a right to be offended, but please don't take away the right of someone to offend you. Because if you take away his right, then that means by definition you don't have a right to offend that person as well. And if you want to win the battle of ideas, you'll never win the battle of ideas by stifling someone else's speech. You win the battle of ideas by debating. You win the battle of ideas by engaging with your adversaries or your opposition. Just shutting them up, throwing them into jail, that solves nothing. It's stupid, it's counterproductive, it's idiotic, and it's not deserving of a secular democracy like India. So I urge anyone watching this video, if you're from India, please raise your voice against IPC section 295A. This law needs to go. Thank you.